So we're going to be talking about the time that I ran into a tree and found an axe head on the ground. This video is pretty crazy because earlier in the day we were riding a trail called Jugs, which I was getting really confident on. We were able to shuttle it, so we were getting downhill laps in during that day with me and some friends. And while we were riding on this one part though, my buddy goes, "Hey, you want to go ride this trail? I don't think that, have you been on it?" And I definitely have not been. It was in Santa Cruz Forest. I don't remember the name of this trail off the top of my head. But the trail that we were riding, he said, we were riding with some newer riders, so they weren't really comfortable with riding bigger jumps and bigger trails. So I kind of figured in my head, like, I'm just going to run this trail as fast as I can to just have some fun. And right at the beginning of this trail, this video starts at the very top of this trail. This video starts at the very, very top. Like, we had just basically started the descent at that point. And I pick up speed pretty rapidly right here. I'm actually, you can't tell, but I'm pedaling. And as soon as I turn this one corner, it's like a little S shape. You see on the ground, there's this one little,
come on, man,
route that is going across the trail, and it's just a little route. So earlier in that day I was riding over routes that had a foot drop at the end of it, and these big routes that you had to go over. But this one little route, because I was going at such a fast speed and I was going into another turn, I tapped my brakes in just the perfect way, and for whatever reason it sent me OTB, like just going full speed.
My life is good. Really good.
And luckily I ended up actually, when I was going OTB, I basically went full dive, just straight dive off my bike with my head almost down. But yeah, full dive into this tree. But luckily my head ended up going directly to the right of the tree. But of course it was like I tackled this tree just full on dive into this tree, going OTB over the bars, and I hit that tree with so much force,
yeah, I'll be all right,
that my bike actually ended up, like I said, I was going full dive. My bike hit me in the nuts super freaking hard. I remember after the fall happened that my nuts hurt the worst out of everything. My shoulder didn't hurt, my head didn't hurt, nothing hurt, but my nuts, man, that was nuts. It hurt a lot. So it obviously rattled me pretty a lot, but I was lucky enough with the fact that my head did not hit it, my neck did not hit the tree. It mainly, all the force went into my shoulder and my nuts. So that was a rough time. But I shook it off pretty quickly. As you see in the video, I get up within like 5 seconds. I'm answering questions almost instantly, so I didn't lose any consciousness, luckily. But my buddy that was behind me, Jacob, was like, "Hey, are you alright?" Because obviously they noticed me laying in the middle of the path, and that's not like me. And I'm getting up, and I have to get out of the way while he's, asking me, "Are you okay? And is everything okay?"
I get it. You need a
but
fucking
that tree,
hug.
I'm gonna tell you, that tree was
Yeah,
calling for a hug. Because later on, I'm sitting down, and I realized that my shoulder is starting to hurt because I just ran full speed into this tree. I literally did a dive into this tree, and as I'm sitting there, I'm also realizing that my bike handlebars are not in alignment with the bike tire actually going downhill, which was wild because that means the bike hit something pretty hard in order to push it out of alignment like that, which was probably my nuts at that time. But
100%.
As I'm hugging this tree, after I sat down for a little bit because you know it called to me to give it a hug, I looked down to the right, and I don't know what for whatever reason I looked down to the right after I'm done stretching, because I was stretching my left and my right arm using the tree, and I looked down and there's this square, rusted looking axe head. Actually, it ends up being an axe head. We had just started filming for Danger's Edge. I don't even think we had the channel up and running yet, but there was already talks with like creating a channel, me and Ryan. I think we had posted a few videos. I can't remember exactly the date that this was filmed, but this was such a crazy experience because after I found that axe head, you know, pretty much we committed to doing Danger's Edge a lot, which was a really, really fun time. And still is. We're still filming Danger's Edge content. We're doing it. So yeah, finding this axe head. We ended up actually stashing that axe head. In the video, you see it stashed in one location, but later on, me and Ryan actually ended up going back to that location, walking that trail, because I noticed you'll notice later on in the video, while I'm riding down, I actually noticed that there's a really awesome area to throw knives and axes at, like perfect stumps that are all set up for axe and knife throwing. And we actually ended up getting some content there after going, you know, many months later. But that axe head is still hidden on that trail. I know exactly where it's at. But yeah, I remember I didn't end up taking it home because I figured, you know, what's found in the woods should stay in the woods. If I don't need it, I'm not gonna remove it. And that axe head kind of called to me and said, you know, I don't think I need to move this time. I'll just be hanging out and sitting. But that axe head looked to be over 100 years old or something crazy, because it was more rust than anything else. And it was just the axe head. You couldn't tell if there was any wood. There was the space that the handle would go is completely full of dirt. So, you know, that thing has been there for a long, long time. But that's my story. Yeah, I ran into this tree full speed. It hurt a little bit, but it really, the worst part was definitely my bike hitting me in my own nuts. At the same time of running full speed, diving straight into this tree that came out of nowhere. Honestly, to this day, I think that tree just needed a hug, and it didn't know the nice way to ask. So yeah, that's it. You're watching Danger's Edge.